This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
I was born static, raised in doubt. Tried to find what life's about. Built my walls and made my stand, but the truth slipped through my hands. Heard the hum behind the sky, felt the cold beneath the light. PKD once said to me, the real ain't always what you see. But now the signal got to me, cut through the noise and set me free. Ain't no preacher, ain't no plan, just a code I finally understand, yeah.
Following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know it already. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today is Whip 'em Out Wednesday on November the 5th of 2025, day 309th of the year, and only 56 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
You're being infiltrated. Radio Big.
Yep, infiltration and Radio Big is the way that we do our combination of stuff, that is for sure. Anyways, how has it been? It's been about 24 hours or so since we last hung out, depending on the timeline on how you were doing the stuff. So hopefully everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods, because that's always an important aspect of what we are talking about, no doubt about it. So if you are new here, let's talk about what we do. We talk about safety and we talk about the news, and then we talk about safety in the news. We bring in some professional broadcasters. They talk a little bit about what the hell is going on inside of the world of the multiverse. And then from there, we talk a little bit about everything. And then we do a main story. And then we get the hell out of here. But if you've been here before, you kind of already know how this works. And so we're here to torture you one more time on what the hell is going on. So that is it. That is the circumstancio of the circumstancio of what we have going on. So with that being said, a lot of stuff goes on inside of this multiverse, no doubt about that. If you want to interact with the show, it's a simple process on doing so. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. Once you get there, audio, video, and text messaging are the opciones that it will give you right away inside of our sistema. And so then we go from there. Once you go there, video, audio, text messaging gives me a prompt on the screen. I know what to do. I take a look from there, and then I go, oh, that's what they're looking for. And then we move on. Simple. Simple and precious is the way that it goes. Anyways, earlier in the week, if you were hanging out, I was telling you some things are coming down the pipe, but they're not down the pipe yet. So we're going to have to wait a few more days, it's looking like, before I'll be able to give you all of the information that I would love to share with you. There is no doubt there. So that's it. So with that being said, and it being Whip 'em Out Wednesday, I think there's a lot of stuff to talk about, to discuss, to think about, and all of that fun stuff. So how do you look at it? I mean, what day of the week is it for you?
You're on the Hump Day wave. Jump on board. We'll get you to Friday.
Yep, so it's hump day, no doubt there. So we are doing our thing, and we will be talking about everything that is going on inside of the world of the weird. So with that being said, I have some professional broadcasters that I get to hang out with because, that's what the cool kids do. So I will hang out with them. We'll get to talk about everything that is going on inside of the world of the multiverse. They'll give you all of the stories that are being featured because that's kind of how they do it. They call themselves Feature Story News. So that is the reason why they'll feature those stories for you. Okay, so with that being said, why don't we go ahead and do that, bring them into our multiverse of stuff, and let's get the whole thing rolling right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in the UK, I'm John Beaver. 34-year-old left-leaning Democrat Zoran Mamdani has been elected as New York City's next mayor. He's described himself as Donald Trump's worst nightmare and will be the youngest person to hold the job in a century. The Democrats also won races for governors in Virginia and New Jersey. Mamdani beat Donald Trump's pick, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, to become the city's first Muslim mayor.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
11 people have died after a passenger train hit a freight train in a remote part of central India. Rescue teams were deployed to the site to search for survivors in the wreckage. Investigations are now taking place to establish what happened. At least 20 people are being treated for injuries in nearby hospitals. China has pledged to further open the country's vast consumer market to international businesses. It comes after Beijing and Washington reached a trade deal that was expected to help restore normality to global supply chains. Laura Westbrook reports.
China's Premier Li Qiang opened a trade show in Shanghai by championing free trade and multilateralism. He says trade restrictions around the world have created barriers to doing business. Li also wants to encourage companies to sell their products as China looks to import more and alleviate its record trade surplus. Part of that is boosting domestic consumption. China's economy has been grappling with deflation as consumers are reluctant to increase spending amid worries over job prospects. It comes after China's President Xi Jinping and his US counterpart Donald Trump agreed to a trade pact in South Korea last week, which included tariff reductions by the US and a suspension of Beijing's new restrictions on rare earths. Laura Westbrook, Hong Kong.
Several airports in Belgium have been forced to close after drones were reported to be operating in the vicinity. The government has called an emergency meeting after dozens of flights were grounded. William Denslow reports from Brussels.
According to Belgian air traffic control, drones were seen near Brussels-Zaventem, the nation's largest international airport, shortly before 8 p.m. on Tuesday evening. Drones were also seen around Liège airport and 2 military bases. Up to 1,000 people were forced to spend the night at Brussels airport, and Belgian officials say a coordinated national approach is needed to handle such incidents in the future. Drones have caused disruptions in a number of European nations over recent months, including Denmark, Poland and Romania. Russia has denied responsibility for these drone incursions, but both NATO and the EU are taking steps to better counter such incidents. William Denslow, Brussels.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, remembering former US Vice President Dick Cheney. The veteran politician's career stretched back to the Nixon administration. He was running the oil and energy giant Halliburton when George W. Bush asked him to make a list of possible running mates to serve alongside him. By the time that process was over, both men concluded Dick Cheney was the man for the job. Considered by many to be the era's political prince of darkness, he enjoyed being compared to Darth Vader. leader, but his critics argued he was a war criminal for the role he played encouraging the invasion of Iraq and the ouster of Saddam Hussein in the aftermath of 9/11. In 2011, he told CNN he had no regrets.
It's the Middle East, and stuff happens in the Middle East. I don't think you can make a case that the world would be better off today if Saddam Hussein were still in power. I think we made exactly the right decisions.
He loathed US President Donald Trump and ahead of midterm elections in 2022 urged the public to turn against the MAGA movement that he leads.
In our nation's 246-year history, there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic. He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence.
His daughter, Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, co-chaired the investigation into the insurrection by Trump supporters on Capitol Hill in January 2021. Dick Cheney was 84. He had suffered from heart problems for many years. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, 34-year-old left-leaning Democrat Zohran Mamdani has been elected as New York City's next mayor. He's described himself as Donald Trump's worst nightmare. 11 people have died and at least 20 have been injured after a passenger train hit a freight train in a remote part of central India. And several airports in Belgium have been forced to close after drones were reported to be operating in the vicinity. That's the latest feature story news. John Beaver reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, so the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's RULA.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to Rula.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's RULA.com/safetyfm because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Hello. It's this show, and they just make fun of a whole bunch of people. It's just too funny. It's too stupid.
Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, here we go. 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Whip About Wednesday. So let's start doing that right away and start talking about some of the major news stories that are going on inside of the world. Oh, hold on. That's not that kind of show. Let's talk about some of the oddities that I've been able to find out there, because maybe that's going to be a little bit more exciting when it's all said and done. So let's go through it this way. Let's start off with WTF. Welcome to Florida. And just in case if your mind went
elsewhere,
here we go. In Florida, an 18-year-old Jimmy Glover was arrested on DUI charges while wearing a prison inmate costume for Halloween in Port St. Lucie, Florida. The Port St. Lucie police pulled him over around 6 a.m. on October the 31st after spotting a suspicious driving when Glover stepped out of the car in a bright orange jail pants with a white tank top. The officers had him perform a sobriety test, which he initially handled well before stumbling on the turnaround. He was charged with a DUI and refusing further testing and booked on $1,500 bond. The Port St. Lucie Police Department had some fun with the situation, posting online that Glover was already dressed for the arrest and joking that they preferred the call for a great Halloween decorations, not drunk driver. Glover released 10 hours later, hopefully with a new appreciation of the irony of what is known as Uber. But yeah, that's the stuff. Hey, that's what happens here in Florida. Some weirdness always taking place. You kind of go through the whole thing and then you go, oh, we can't talk about some stuff, but we don't talk about it because we're afraid of what's going to happen. You know, you can't dog Florida too much. It's kind of the way that it goes. Listen to this one. A woman named Diana Edwards recently returned a children's book to Camden Library in Maine, 46 years overdue. She discovered that Bunches and Bunches, yeah, that's what it's called, Bunches and Bunches. Oops. Bunches and Bunches is the name of the book. Bunches and Bunnies. While backing for a move from Massachusetts to New Hampshire, Edwards originally checked out the book back in 1979 when she lived in Camden with her kids. And then well-traveled book had been gone ever since. The library was amused rather than annoyed, especially since they no longer charge late fees. Even under the old system, Edwards would have owed no more than $5 or the replacement cost. She made the donation instead to the library, plans to feature the vintage bunny book in the future story times. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about, no doubt about that one. Take a listen to this one. A broke French salesman pulled off one of the most creative weddings of the year. Too poor to afford a ceremony of his dreams, he decided to sell a ad space on his tuxedo jacket to a startup, literally turning himself into a walking billboard. After posting on X the idea, it went viral. 26 companies paid for the logo spots, netting him about $10,000. Half went towards the custom suit and the wedding costs, though the taxes in his profits still, have to be paid. Still, the stunt worked. Not only did he get married on a sponsored suit, but he also landed a dream job in New York startup to impress by his hustle. In short, broke groom, bold move, big payoff. Punchlines here. There's so many to think about. Love may be priceless, but apparently tuxedo space goes for $10,000. Forget wedding vows. He's out reciting ad copy. So there you go. The man did not say I do. He said I do, brought to you by Coinbase. And who needs something borrowed when you have something branded? And even the priest asked if he could get a logo spot on the back. Instead of rice, guess through business cards, and the wedding march was replaced by startup jingles. What a way to think about some of this stuff.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, take a listen to this one. A woman was fined $1,400 because her cat keeps visiting her neighbors. Let's see. In a France region, a woman named Dominique got slapped with about $1,435 in fines after her cat Remy was accused of trespassing on the neighbor's property, leaving paw prints, pee, and poop as evidence. The neighbors complained about that the feline had been causing chaos, and a judge agreed. Since then, poor Remy's been put under house arrest, gaining weight and turning cranky while stuck inside. To make matters even worse, he allegedly jumped the fence again, and Dominique now faces another court summons, potentially worth about, 2,000 euros fine plus 150 euros per day, and her very furry fugitive keeps breaking the law. The case has stirred national debate in France, with animal rights groups arguing that the punishment of cats for wandering is basically criminalizing cat behavior. Only in France can a cat get a longer rap sheet than career criminals. Also, it looks like Remy's new favorite toy is the legal system. That's not a cat. That is a serial trespasser. Got it? Trespasser. Forget cat on a hot and tin roof. It's a cat in court. The neighbors call the animal control, then they call Judge Judy. Remy's next crime, contempt of court and littering. And he's not neutered, he's notarized. You get it? I know. Some stuff to think about. Some stuff that could be funny or taken very offensively, depending on how you want to take a look at it. That is for sure. Let's talk about some serious stuff for a few moments here. In case you had not heard this, well, we need to talk about it. Former Vice President Dick Cheney passed away at 84 from complications related to pneumonia and a heart and vascular disease. His family announced that Cheney, who served under President George W. Bush, had battled heart issues for decades, surviving 5 heart attacks, multiple surgeries, and a heart transplant back in 2012. His family statement described him as a man of courage, honor, love, kindness, and fly fishing. I guess that's one way to describe somebody. Praising his lifelong devotion to the country and family. Cheney's long public career was marked with resilience, both political and physically, as he continued serving even after repeated cardiac crisis. Cheney died on Monday night. So there you go. Some information in case you did not know about this. Let's continue talking about some other stuff going on inside of this
multiverse
of ours. So let's do that. 2 young girls were seriously injured after being thrown from a Ferris wheel at the Harvest Festival in New Roads, Louisiana, just outside of Baton Rouge. The accident happened around noon on Saturday, and then it was basket. They were riding, suddenly tipped over, sending them plunging 20 feet into a steel platform below. The third girl managed to hold on to the ride as she was rescued from falling. Both victims, under the age of 13, were rushed to the Children's Hospital in Baton Rouge. One reportedly suffered possible brain bleed, and the other sustained multiple broken bones. Witnesses described the moment as horrifying, saying that the basket appeared to get stuck at an angle before flipping. The Ferris wheel operator by Crescent City Amusement had no seatbelts or restraints, only a gate enclosure. Something witnesses made easy as for the child to fall out. They need to take this thing down, one man told local reporters after saying that he'd ridden it the day before and it felt unsafe. The ride and nearby attractions were immediately shut down for investigation by Louisiana State Fire Marshal, who oversees safety checks of amusement rides. Crescent City Amusement has a questionable history. Last year, one of its rides in Wisconsin left passengers dangling upside down for 3 hours due to mechanical malfunctions. I have to tell you, it gets pretty interesting when you start taking a listen to some of this stuff. Is this something that you'd be willing to ride, or are you taking a pass on this?
Who truly cares what this guy has to say? Who gives a shit? Rated R Safety Show.
Hey, it's just a question. I'm just trying to figure it out, man, because that's what happens. Anyways, federal prosecutors arrested Trent Schneider, 57, from Illinois, after accusing him of repeatedly posting online threats calling for the execution of the president. The criminal complaint says that Schneider ran an Instagram account under Truth Reaper 888, where between October the 16th and October the 21st, he posted an explicit-filled video saying that he would get some guns and that the president should be executed. The same account allegedly posted an image of the president with prohibition signed 20 times between September the 26th and October the 21st. The caption repeating that the sentiment referring to pending foreclosure auction. A Florida resident reported the post to authorities. Court papers note that Schneider is facing a foreclosure auction and has prior history of violent online posts, including a 2022 arrest after alleged threats of shoot up T-Mobile store. In 2023, he was found unfit to stand trial on unrelated charges. Snyder was due before the U.S. magistrate in Chicago after his arrest. So we'll definitely take a look at what the hell's going on there. No doubt about that one. That is for sure. Okay, I don't know if you heard about this, but this was making the news cycles yesterday. So let's talk about this real quick. UPS plane explodes during a takeoff at Kentucky airport, leaving a massive flume of smoke and multiple injured. A massive UPS cargo plane exploded shortly after takeoff from Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport on Tuesday evening, triggering widespread fires, multiple injuries, and a citywide emergency response. The MD-11 aircraft that was headed for Honolulu when around, well, let's say 5:15 p.m. or 17:15 for those, flames were seen shooting from the left wing moments before it erupted in a fireball. Video from the witnesses show a horrifying blast up in the runway, sending towering flume of black smoke over Louisville. There were 3 crew members on the board. UPS confirmed emergency dispatcher said that across the city heard the deafening explosion, and authorities later reported multiple trapped inside the burning building near the crash site. Louisville Metro Police, fire crews, and federal investigators quickly descended on the scene. Officials issued a shelter-in-place order within 5-mile radius, later expanding it north of the airport due to heavy smoke and debris. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear called the situation tragic and urged prayers for those affected. The NTSB has launched a full investigation. Take a listen to this.
Bro, get the here, like turn around. Bro, no, hold on. I think it's gonna crash, bro. Holy. Damn, they're dead. They are dead, bro.
Okay, so as you can see, that's an onlooker taking a look at what the hell's going on. It's definitely an edited version. Not for this show, because we don't edit shit here. But you kind of get the point of what exactly was going on as they are talking. No doubt about that one. That is for sure. So there you go. Okay, let's continue talking about what is going on inside of the world. Should I talk about this one? Let's talk about it. Kim Kardashian just blamed ChatGPT for tanking her law exam during a Vanity Fair lie detector test. Kim admitted that she's been using AI chatbots to help her study, snapping photos of legal questions and asking for advice. The problem, according to Kim, there was always wrong, where she claims that led to her failing the test. When her co-star Tiana Taylor asked about it, she counted that as cheating. Kim brushed it off, calling ChatGPT a frenemy. She said that she even argues with the bot, scolding it for giving her bad answers and screenshots of their conversations to show her friends. Kim joked that ChatGPT turned it into her therapist, trying to spin mistakes into lessons about trusting her instincts, and they need to do better. She said, I'm leaning on them to really help me, and they're teaching me life lessons instead. A polygraph examiner confirmed that she was telling the truth. Kardashian, who began studying law back in 2019, inspired by her late father, Robert Kardashian, failed the baby bar exam 3 times before passing it in 2021. She recently celebrated the earnings of her law degree after 6 years and apparently a few AI missteps. Take a listen.
Use it for legal advice. So when I am needing to know the answer to a question, I'll take a picture and snap it and like put it in there.
So you're cheating?
They're always wrong. It has made me fail tests.
Are you serious?
All the time. Then I will talk to it and say, hey, you're gonna make me fail. How does like that make you feel? That you need to really know these answers. I'm coming to you. Right. And then it'll say back to me, this is just teaching you to trust your own instincts. You knew the answer all along.
So she clocked you. So technically, you a ChatGPT are friends, just toxic friends.
Toxic
Sounds like
friends,
a toxic
but they need to do better because I'm leaning to them to really help me. And she is teaching me a life lesson and then becoming my therapist to tell me why I need to believe in myself.
Okay, so I guess ChatGPT is now your frenemy, your therapist, and the way that you will get help in regards to cheating.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Hey, I'm just saying nothing to go crazy about, but just some stuff right there. Let's talk about this real quick. Yum Brands and Louisville-based parent company of Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut is considering cutting out Pizza Hut loose. The company announced the launching of a formal review of strategic options for struggling pizza chain, which could include a sale. CEO Chris Turner said the brand's performance isn't delivering the goods, suggesting that it might perform better outside of Yummy family. While Pizza Hut sales fell 2% globally and 7% in the U.S. last quarter, Taco Bell and KFC are thriving, with sales up 9% and 6% respectively. I guess Pizza Hut's delivered time finally ran out. Looks like Yummy Brands is saying it's not delivery, it's a divorce. Taco Bell and KFC are thriving while Pizza Hut crust just went bust. Strategic review corporate speak for we're already called the movers. Maybe Pizza Hut should have stuffed more than just the crust. Also, Taco Bell living moss while Pizza Hut's living meh. KFC bringing the heat, Pizza Hut's just reheating. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about as we are looking around and talking about stuff, that is for sure. Let's give you one more if you do not mind, because, things get weird. Kraft has launched a new limited edition apple pie flavored mac and cheese blending creamy cheddar with cinnamon and tart green apples. The oddball comfort food mashup is meant to capture the spirit of Thanksgiving, sweet, savory, and a little weird to promote the Kraft teamed up with American Pie star Jason Biggs, adding a wink of nostalgia and humor to the rollout. But online reaction has been, let's just say, mixed. Some think it's creative, others think that it's a culinary chaos. Many joke that the product should go straight to jail. It's available exclusively online at Walmart for $1.48 while supplies and stomachs last, because that's really the way to look at it. So think about this for a moment. Apple pie and mac and cheese, for people who think dessert should come with regret, or aside with regret, because there's no other way to look at it. Also, finally, a product that says, I've given up on boundaries and taste buds. Jason's big promoting that makes sense. Nobody knows what to do with a pie quite like him. Look it up if you don't know what that means. It's like grandma's cooking and your drunk uncle's ideas had a baby. Because when I think Thanksgiving comfort, I think Chinese and cinnamon. Why ruin both? This sounds like something the toddler would make if I left them alone in the kitchen for 5 minutes. Apple pie and mac and cheese was proof that we've run out of normal ways to celebrate the holidays, and as a culinary version of texting your ex at 2 a.m. We'll regret it, but curiosity will always win.
More sarcasm with an Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, yes, Rated R Safety Show. You know what time it is.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, main story time. Time to hang out and call it out as it is, because that is what we do around here. So let's talk about progress, or at least what we pretend is progress, because that seems to be the thing that the cool kids do. So you've seen it, you've heard it, and you probably even sat through 2-hour meetings with 16 PowerPoint slides explaining how your company is evolving its culture towards excellence. Whatever the hell that means, because I don't ever know what that means. And we love saying the word progress. Progress, progress, progress. It sounds good. It sounds futuristic. It sounds like we're going somewhere, doing something. But here's the funny thing. Sometimes progress is just a new layer of lipstick on the same old corporate pig. I know. Some stuff to think about as we are talking about it, but you know where I'm going here. So you know the kind of progress I'm talking about, the one that comes with posters and buzzwords and matching t-shirts, because we need some damn matching t-shirts in this world. Suddenly, we're told it isn't the same safety program. Oh, no. This is a new one. It's the next gen. It's the Safety Transformation Initiative that is coming down the pike. And they'll tell you that it's rooted in human performance, or it's data-driven, or it's powered by AI, because we need to use that damn word now, because that seems to be the popular thing that everybody always says that anything is that's moving forward. It's AI. Whatever sounds like cutting edge that quarter. But when you strip away the branding, the hashtags, it's often the same system. Only now it costs 3 times as much as the app that doesn't work offline, because the one that worked offline was fine, but this one, it's going to cost you 3 times more. So here's the real kicker. Progress in name only can be worse than standing still. Because when we think about what we're improving, we stop paying attention to whether we're actually are. We pat ourselves on the back moving forward while quietly ignoring that we're still tripping over the same cracks on the same sidewalk. And as you know, people can't sense it. Or people can sense it is better saying. Workers notice when big change or initiatives is just corporate reskin. They can tell that the leadership renewed commitment to safety is just another email blast before a quarterly audit, because that seems to be the cool thing that the cool kids do. So why do we keep on doing this? Because the illusion of progress feels safer than admitting that we might not know what real progress looks like. We'd rather look busy than look uncertain. We'd rather change the name of a program than face the hard truth that the culture hasn't changed one bit. You can't rebrand trust. You can't rename engagement. You can't appify care. You either live it or you don't. You can't have it both ways. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Jay, that's how companies work. They evolve. Or let me try that again.
Okay, Jay, that's how companies work. They evolve.
Well, sure. That's great evolution stuff when it's real. But corporate evolution often looks more like cloning, replicating the same DNA, slightly mutating the logo, pretending it's a new species. We've created this weird arm race ideas, each consultant, each VP, each new director trying to out-transform the last one. We have to do the transformation projects that are going on inside of the workplace here. But but no one's asking the basic questions. Did this actually make things better for the people doing the work? Think about that for a moment. How many times does that question get asked? That's the only metric that matters. Not the number of posters, not the volume of training sessions, not how many times was it said psychological safety in your presentation. What matters is, did it change the way that people feel when they go to work? Now, if you really want progress, the kind that sticks, you have to get a little bit uncomfortable. You have to stop pretending that change is a software update. It's not about rolling out a new system. It's not about rolling up your sleeves and saying, "Hey, let's do this shit again." It's about listening more than talking. It's about being willing to throw away the playbook when you realize it doesn't fit your people anymore. And that takes courage, not compliance. It takes humility, not hubris. It takes connection, not control. So here's your challenge for today. Stop chasing the illusion of progress and start measuring the reality of it. Don't ask what's new, ask what's different, because new is easy, different is hard. And maybe, just maybe, the real progress is when we stop pretending we've already made it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy on the radio saying that the emperor's safety culture transformation doesn't actually have any clothes on. And I know that in some moment that will end up pissing some people off.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You're listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Prepare yourself.
We are now being distributed on iHeartRadio. Listen on iHeartRadio app. Radio Big.
Okay, let's go.
Jay Allen in the morning. Weekdays on Radio Big.
Tried to find what life's about. Built my walls and made my stand, but the truth slipped through my hands. Heard the hum behind the sky, felt the cold beneath the light. PKD once said to me, the real ain't always what you see. But now the signal got to me, cut through the noise and set me free. Ain't no preacher, ain't no plan, just a code I finally understand. Yeah, the signal got to me. Yeah, the signal got to me. said it's all a game. Just data flowing light by name. But I swear I felt a spark inside when the mask began to slide. I ain't searching for.
Okay, here we are.
Know who called my name.
44 minutes past the top of the hour.
Down to one last key, the signal tuned inside of me. Yeah, the signal got to
Yeah,
me.
this right here. Little song called The Signal Got to Me.
No.
Yeah. We're going to have a conversation about this here in the very near future, but we'll get to it at some point. So this song is not available on any platform yet. And there is a key word there. But just enjoying some country music here for a moment.
The threads unwind, the dream, the code, the grand design. I'm just a soul that learned to hear what's been calling all these years.
Yep.
So if you're lost and can't break free.
Yep, there you go. Always a good time here on the Rated R Safety Show. Because, you know, we're hanging out doing all kinds of fun stuff. Listen, the show is just to do some stuff for us to hang out, talk about what the hell's going on inside of the world. And listen, I know you have an important work going on. But we talk about this stuff for you to have a subject to discuss prior to getting into some of the corporate bullshit that you have to talk about daily. So listen, you can share some of the info that goes on the show if you want, but we want to make sure that you're having a good time with us. Because without you, it makes absolutely no sense what we do around here. But the signal did get to me. So there you go. Okay.
Now I see.
Yep, now I see.
The dream, the code, the grand design. I'm just a soul that learned to hear
what's been calling all these years. The signal got to me.
So if you're
So there you go. Let's go ahead and get into the move and the groove of the things going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that is kind of what we do. And let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. No doubt about that. And we want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, you're going to see all kinds of information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorder, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com, To Write Love on Her Arms. So there you go. It could change things for you. All you have to do is take a look around and take a look at what exactly is going on there inside of the world. So as we talk about everything and a little bit about this and a little bit about that, let's talk about things that I have learned from the movies.
It's time for things I've learned from movies.
So I figured it out. Why hot dogs come in packages of 10 and hot dog buns come in packages of 8. See, the thing is that life doesn't always work out according to plan. So be happy with what you got, so you can always get a hot dog.
And that's it for things I've learned from movies.
Okay, so some things you learned from movies. That's kind of what I wanted to share with you. That way you kind of knew exactly where I stood when it came to some of the stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse. No doubt about that. Okay, so let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of this world, because why would we not do that? Take a listen to this. Luxury health store Erewhon, the playground of LA's elite wellness crowd, has launched another eyebrow-raising product, a toothpaste inspired by a smoothie, partnering with oral care, a brand Boca. The $11 mint conditioned smile smoothie is made with mint coconut mango green tea and even ingredients from Boca Ella mint nano hydroxyplate toothpaste. Say that 5 times fast. It's bright green, topped with mint leaves and coconut cream, and supposedly gives you that just brush freshness without, thankfully, the taste of like cress. Celebrities like Hailey Bieber and Sophia Richie have had Erewhon smoothie collab before, but this one's got people talking. Some fans love it. Others say it's proof that Erewhon has officially lost its mind. Meanwhile, the store is expanding to New York, where memberships for the new private paddle club are reportedly going. Are you ready for this? I hope you're sitting. For the cost of $43,000, because apparently your smoothie should cost more than your rent. So there you go. Finally, a drink that makes your mouth feel clean and your wallet feel violated. It's like brushing your teeth, but somehow still needing to floss with your credit card afterwards. And only Erewhon could charge $11 for something every dentist gives out for free. Nothing says luxury like drinking what sounds like an aftermath of your morning routine. Also, Erewhon's the only place where you can buy toothpaste in liquid form and still call it lunch. And let's give you one more. Finally, a smoothie that doubles as mouthwash, neck shampoo that shots, and kale deodorant. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about. Anyways, a new Harris poll commissioned by Cash App found that Gen Z considers cash cringe, with 53% saying that they only use physical money as a last resort. Among 2,000 U.S. adults surveyed, nearly 1 in 3, 29%, young adults said said people who still pay with cash seem out of touch. Instead, they prefer digital options like credit cards and phone apps for almost everything. But not just about aesthetics, it's about control. The study found that 54% of Gen Zers say that they would more than likely to overspend when carrying cash, while digital payments help them track their budget better. And despite the reputation of doom spenders, the data paints a more responsible picture at 46%, and have emergency savings of 39%, and are focused financial security, and many are saving for travel, big purchases, and moving out on their own. Cash App's parent company, Block Inc., said that the trend reflects that Gen Z shifts towards financial independence and smarter habits, proving that the generation's paper money is out and digital discipline is in. Let's bring some John Smalls into our life and let him tell us about the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Kylie. J. Donald Walters said, "Happiness is an attitude of mind born of the simple determination to be happy under all outward circumstances." I agree with this. I mentioned this to a friend the other day. He said he was in a funk and he needed to talk to me because I always try to cheer him up. I've been in a funk before, so I get it. I reminded him that happiness is a choice. Sometimes it's easier to be angry or sad, but if you turn that frown upside down, it will change your whole day, and it can also change the day of all the other people around you. If you're spreading joy, people want to be around you. If you're not, or even worse, spreading anger, they don't.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Recent elections in several African countries have concluded with opposition candidates sidelined and results disputed.
Protests have erupted in multiple nations as young voters express frustration over the outcomes. Analysts warn that these trends could further weaken democratic institutions and embolden military takeovers. The continent's mix of youthful populations and aging leaders is fueling unrest and deepening political divides. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
The bodies of 3 Israel Defense Forces soldiers, including American-Israeli Omer Nutra, have been returned from Gaza by Hamas.
The return marks a significant development in the ongoing hostage situation following the October 2023 attack. Nutra's family expressed gratitude for the return of his body and renewed calls for the release of all remaining hostages. The Israeli government has reiterated its commitment to securing the return of every hostage still held in Gaza. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Avalanche conditions on Mount Yalung Ri in Nepal have claimed the lives of 7 climbers climbers, including 5 foreign nationals.
Rescue teams are working to recover those still missing in the affected areas. The incident has prompted renewed safety warnings for mountaineers attempting high-altitude climbs in the region. Authorities are investigating the causes of the avalanche and reviewing safety protocols. Chris Anderson reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
The U.S. government shutdown has now reached its 35th day, approaching the record for the longest in history.
Millions of federal workers remain without pay, and essential services are being disrupted. The political standoff continues as both parties remain entrenched in their positions. The shutdown is affecting air travel, health care, and food assistance programs nationwide. Lawrence Keller reporting.
President Donald Trump's approval rating has dropped to 37%, the lowest of his second term, according to recent polling.
Public dissatisfaction with the economy and government performance is widespread. The upcoming elections are seen as a critical test of public sentiment toward the current administration. Many voters cite economic concerns as their top priority. Kyle Norris reporting.
Air traffic control shortages have led to significant flight delays across the United States.
Controllers are required to work without pay during the shutdown, raising safety concerns. Transportation officials warn that the situation could worsen if the shutdown continues. Airlines are adjusting schedules and rerouting flights to manage the impact. Kevin Sanders reporting.
Open enrollment for 2026 health insurance plans has begun, but enhanced Obamacare subsidies are set to expire in December.
Without an extension, many Americans could face steep premium increases. Democrats insist on including subsidy extensions in any government funding deal, while Republicans demand the government reopen first. Health policy experts predict average premium hikes of 30% if subsidies are not renewed. Jessica Oakley reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Oh, yes, there you go. A lot of stuff going on. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 1875, Susan B. Anthony was arrested for attempting to vote. That happened back on this date in 1875. Let's talk about some things that you ought to know. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is for $438 million. Here's last night Mega Million number 11, 14, 17, 50, and 57. The Mega Ball was 6. Since there was no jackpot winner, Friday night's jackpot will climb to $843 million. Also, let's see, this year in the wake of President Donald Trump ordering the U.S. Mint to stop making pennies, the supermarket chain Kroger's has begun asking shoppers who prefer to pay cash to do with exact change. The retailer has posted signs requesting exact coinage. Though legally they're able to do so, Kroger so far is not refusing pennies or cash payments. What else do we got? California voters just gave Gavin Newsom, a major political win with approving Proposition 50, a measure that throws out the state independent redistricting commission and hands the map drawing power to the Democrat-controlled legislature. The move comes to directly undercut President Trump's MAGA push to secure more House seats. Heading into 2026 midterms with the new rules, Democrats could flip as many as 5 Republican congressional seats in California. Also, in some other news, the supermoon today. This one will be even brighter than the supermoon that lit up the sky in October, and the moon should look even bigger, known as a full beaver moon. This one will be the closest supermoon of 2025. The phenomenon is due to the moon orbit from around the Earth being closer to the Earth than most months. The supermoon reached its peak illumination at 8:19 a.m. this morning. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time together. Thanks for hanging out with me on this lovely Whip 'em Out Wednesday. Always a good time when you and I are hanging out together, no doubt about that. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You can hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he hangs out here on Safety FM, talking about the world of safety consulting. I will be talking about the world of music and entertainment on the other side of the equation. Thank you for always being the best part of what we do around here, because it makes no sense to do what we do without you. That is for sure. If I can give you a little bit of advice for today, keep this in mind. Keep jeans fresh longer. Pop them in a Ziploc bag and freeze overnight to kill odors that are causing bacteria. That's something to think about. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and/or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and/or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and/or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
But now the signal got to me, cut through the noise and set me free. Ain't no preacher, ain't no plan, just a code I finally understand. Yeah, the signal got to me. Yeah, the signal got to me. Tom Campbell said it's all a game, just data flow and light by name. But I swear I felt a spark inside when the mask began to slide.